Hi, welcome to your flow and breath and expansion practice. My name is Laura Beth. I think y'all all know that by now. I didn't grab blocks today, but you might actually want to grab a couple of blocks. And if you need something like a blanket or anything to go underneath the knees, feel free to do that as well. You absolutely do not need music for your yoga practice, but if you like it, I am on Spotify and it's under Laura Beth Lucas. And today I'm going to be listening to the playlist called The Night We Met. So feel free to tune into that and let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off in opening Shavasana. So lying on your back. Let your legs extend forward and your feet will hang comfortably open. Your arms come down by the side body with the palms facing up, unless you would prefer something more like one hand on the belly, one on the heart. Let's just take a moment here, find that space where you can just drop in, stepping out of your day so far, whatever time it is that you do this practice. If you feel comfortable, close down your eyes, relax your brows, wiggle your jaw from side to side. And let's just be here. From your focus to your breath. So the natural inhale and exhale that occur in your body. And as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. And then you begin to deepen your breath, elongating both the inhale and the exhale. And you want them to match both in duration and intensity. So you inhale through the nose, allow for your belly to expand, for your rib cage to open, for the heart to rise. And then exhale to empty it back out, grounding down, letting go, giving back. And then on your next inhale, take your arms up overhead. Roll out your wrists and your ankles. And then exhale, hug your knees into your chest for just a moment. Wrap your arms around your shins. Feel the compression on the fronts of your hips as they get a little bit warmer perhaps. Then you can rock side to side. And then place your feet down on the ground, hip width distance apart, heels in towards your sits bones. And then let your hands come down next to your hips, palms face down. And then roll your shoulders back so you feel your shoulder blades pinned to your upper back, and taking some bridge rolls here. So the arms will lift up as do the hips. So on your inhale, press your feet down, curl your tailbone up, float your hips up, float your arms up and over. So you're lubricating your shoulder joints as well. And then on the exhale, you bring it all back down, trying one vertebra at a time. And then your hands float back to the mat. Inhale, round it all back up, float your arms up overhead. And exhale to come down. One more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your knees back in towards your chest. Slide your hands behind your thighs. And on the inhale, lift your hips and rock back. Keep your low back rounded. And on the exhale, rock it forward, tap your toes. And take spinal rocks and rolls, just forward and backward, maybe like 3 to 5 of these. There's no slapping of the low back on the mat as you move. And then on your last one, come forward and cross your feet at the ankles. Bring your hands to your hips for seated cat and cow. On the inhale, rock yourself forward. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chin. And then on the exhale, round it. Roll it back, navel to your spine. Dome out your upper back. Inhale to come forward. Let your heart press forward. And then exhale, rock it back, navel to your spine. Let's take one more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, come right back just to neutral spine. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground. And let's come into your box pose. So all fours. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Knees underneath your hips. And on the inhale, sweep your right arm up to the sky. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your shoulders and your clavicles. And then exhale, thread the needle. Weave your right arm underneath the left. Come down to your right ear, your temple. And let your left arm either reach forward or wrap around the small of your back in a half bind. Whatever it is that you need here. And continue to breathe. And then slide your left hand back in front of your face. Inhale, right arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, right palm plants. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, thread the needle, left arm underneath the right. Come down to your shoulder, your ear, your temple. Left fingertips reach towards the opposite side of the room. And then your right arm wraps either around the small of your back or you just reach it forward. You decide. And slide your right hand back in front of your face, root the palm. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down. Just take an inhale here. On the exhale, shift your hips back towards your heels for a child's pose, Balasana. Walk your hands forward, let your forehead come down. Breathing here. And then inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit farther away from you. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Get a side body stretch through the right side. Breathing there for 3. And then on your inhale, walk your hands back through center. And on the exhale, walk them all the way over to the right. So now stretching through your left side waist. And then we inhale, walk your hands back through center. Exhale, press up all fours. Stay for the inhale. And then exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Let your chest press in towards your thighs. Let your head hang. And then breathe here for 3. So really lifting up through your tailbone. Even if that means you have to bend your knees a lot, it's all good. But find a hinge at the hips and let your rib cage press in towards the thighs. The head just hangs. Now inhale, it's a soft bend to your knees as you gaze forward. Exhale as many steps as you need. Walk your feet to your hands. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And then exhale, ragdoll. Take a bend to your knees, ribs to your thighs. Let your head go. And you can grab opposite shoulders if that feels good. Sway side to side. Or just be still. The hands will come down to the earth. And then you inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, let your left hand come down, reach your right arm up and over, stretching through your right side waist. And then inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips and forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step your left foot back. Let your left knee come down to the ground. And then inhale, shoulders over your hips, arms up over your head. Your right knee is a 90-degree bend. There's a diagonal from left hip to left knee. Inhale to reach just a little bit higher. Pull the pit of your belly back. And then right hand circles left wrist. Exhale, hinge over to the right. Get a side body stretch. And then inhale, come through center. Switch the grip. Firm up your inner thighs. And then exhale, stretch over to the left. Inhale, arms up, shoulders over hips. Exhale, hands down. Shift your hips back. Lengthen through your right leg and flex your right toes back towards your shin. Soft bend to your right knee, or it can be a deep bend, whatever feels best to you here, so that you get into the belly of your hamstring. All right, on your next inhale, walk yourself forward, rebend your right knee, curl up left toes, lift left knee. Exhale, standing split. Straighten your right leg, lift the left and let your head hang down. Just stay for an inhale. Exhale, place your left foot next to the right at the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, right arm down, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up and over. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, elbows back and down, open through your chest. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, Baddha Hasta, bind up your hands. You're going to interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Now inhale to puff up your chest. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Tuck your chin, let your fist work its way up and over. And then hands to the ground. Inhale to a long spine. And then exhale, step your right foot back, soften your right knee down. Inhale to bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for your exhale. Remember, you firm up the pit of your belly. Inhale, get a little bit longer. Left hand circles right wrist. Exhale, hinge over to the left. And then you inhale, both arms to the sky, switch the grip. Exhale, hinge over to the right. And then inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to the ground. Shift your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split. Now the more you spin your navel towards your left thigh bone, the left hip will pull back, the right hip slightly forward. Breathe in. And then inhale, walk yourself towards the top of your mat. Curl up your back toes. Lift your back knee. This time on the exhale, step your left foot all the way back and bring your knees down to the ground. Inhale here. Let your bottom stick up. Exhale,
come down to your knees, your chest, your chin, gaze forward. And then inhale, come all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. And then exhale, melt yourself back down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, so it's a baby cobra. Roll your shoulders back now, peel your chest up. And then exhale, take your hips back towards your heels, taking your time. Breathing here. And then inhale, press back up into all fours. And on the exhale, curl up your toes, lift your hips up and back. And find downward facing dog, hips high, heart slow. Inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. And exhale, step your right foot all the way through. Let your left heel go flat. Inhale, shoulders over hips. Arms reach up overhead, so warrior one. Now with your warrior one, the right knee is a 90-degree bend, the left toes angle slightly inward. This helps your left hip and your left side of waist, your rib cage wrap forward. Lunging into your right knee, press actively into the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale here. And exhale, bind up your hands at the small of your back. Inhale, puff up your chest. And exhale, hinge forward. Take the crown of your head down, tuck your chin, work your fist up and over. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, hands come down. Frame your front foot either on the ground or on your blocks. And shift your hips back for a pyramid pose. Pull your right hip back, your left hip forward. Breathe. And on your next inhale, bend into your right knee. You want your right heel and your left inner arch more or less to line up. And then you inhale, windmill open, warrior two. Gaze to your right fingertips. Stay for your exhale. Pull your pinkies back slightly. And you want your right knee to line up more or less with your fourth or your pinky toe. Now inhale, flip your right palm, slide your left forearm to the small of your back, and reverse your warrior with a half bind. On the exhale, keep the half bind, straighten your right leg, bump your left hip back, reach your right fingertips forward and down, either to your block or towards your shin, but continue to rotate your left shoulder open. And maybe you gaze up at the ceiling just above you. Keep breathing. And then slowly reach your left hand back up to the sky. Keep your legs straight. Firm up your inner thighs. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips. Exhale, turn your right toes towards the long edge of your mat. Your left toes might turn slightly out. Bend into your left knee and drop your hips down. Spin your right toes up. And then hands might come to heart center. You choose. So it's a low skandasana to the back of your mat. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Just breathe into it here. Your hands could also be on blocks or down on the ground. You could also be lifted and just staying high to where there's not this deep of a bend in your left knee. There's no pain. Now using your hands, inhale, lift your hips, walk yourself back to the top of your mat. On the exhale, heel toe your right foot over and bring your left knee down. You're gonna breathe here in a low lizard. Now perhaps you turn your right toes out to like 1 or 2 o'clock. You could roll to the outer edge of your right foot. You're breathing, maybe you come down to your forearms. You could bend your left knee, get a stretch for your left quad, the front of your left hip. And then let your toes come back down. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Turn your toes just to a slight diagonal. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, shift your hips back. So now your hands are on the inside of your right foot, and it's a half diagonal split. But breathe. And then walk yourself forward as you inhale. Curl up your left toes. Lift your left knee. Exhale, step your left foot outside your left hand. Heels in, toes out, bottoms low. Malasana, yogic squat. Hands come to heart center. Your eyes could be closed here. You could move side to side. You can be still. Just find something that suits you in this moment, something beneficial. And hands come down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips, straighten your legs. Exhale, heel toe your feet together and forward fold. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale to your high plank. I just want you to hold it. Take an inhale. And then exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. And then inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot all the way through. Your right heel goes flat. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Breathe. Again, inhale, reach your fingertips higher. Exhale, interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. Inhale to puff up your chest. Roll the nuts on the fronts of your shoulders back. And then exhale, hinge forward. Bring the crown of your head down towards the inner arch of your left foot. Keep the bend in your left knee and pull your left hip back. I'm wobbly today. It's all good, y'all. Breathe. One more inhale here. And then exhale, hands come down, frame your left foot. Shift your hips back and straighten through your left leg, but pull your left hip back. Spin your navel towards your left thigh bone. Think of a long, strong spine. And really press down into the big toe ball mound of your left foot. On your next inhale, bend into your left knee. Fix the feet to where your left heel intersects the right inner arch. And then windmill open, find warrior two, left side. Gaze to your left fingertips. Nothing else matters. Breathe. And then flip your left palm. Slide your right forearm to the small of your back. And inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, it's your triangle pose with a half bind. Straighten your left leg. Bump your right hip back and then slide your left fingertips down. This time rotate your right shoulder on top of the left. Gaze to the sky. Your right fingertips might be searching for the left hip crease. Your gaze is soft, as is your face. And then you reach your right hand back up to the sky. Firm up your inner thighs. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms out like a T. Exhale, turn your left toes towards the long edge of your mat. Your right toes might go slightly out. And then bend your right knee. Drop yourself down. Rotate your left toes to the sky. And perhaps hands to heart if it feels right. And then hands come down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips, walk yourself to the top of your mat. Exhale, heel toe your left foot over, bring your right knee down. Hands to the inside of your left foot. You can pull your heart forward, feel the stretch on the front of your right hip. You could spin left toes out to like 10 or 11 o'clock. You can even roll to the outer edge of your left foot. And you can bend your right knee if you want to go for the quad stretch right side. And let your right toes come down to the ground. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Turn your toes just kind of slightly forward. Inhale here. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten through your left leg and find your half diagonal split. Breathing in here. And then on your next inhale, walk yourself forward. Rebend your left knee, curl up your right toes, lift your right knee. Exhale, walk your right foot outside your right hand, heels in, toes out. Breathe it in. And you find this Malasana yogic squat. Bring your hands down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips, straighten through your legs. Exhale, heel to your feet together. Nice, remember I didn't standing split on the left side. So inhale, lift your right leg up and let your head hang. Just for a second so you get that additional stretch here. And then exhale, let your right foot come down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale to your high plank. Hold for your inhale, and then exhale, lift your hips up. Now inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. On the exhale, bend your right knee, open up through your right hip, send your heel towards your left glute. And then straighten back out through your right leg. That's your inhale. On the exhale, right knee to your right wrist. So coming into your half pigeon. Slide your left leg long behind you, and then your right shin is either parallel to the top of the mat or right heel all the way in towards your pelvis or anywhere in between. You could also take this on your back and do a reclined variation or a double pigeon variation seated. So whatever suits you most. Let your left hip, if you're in this traditional variation, let your left hip wrap forward. And if you notice that your right hip is lifted a lot, slide a support underneath it. It could either be a block or a pillow. And then let your heart pull forward and melt down. Now you're here for a full minute, so really let your upper body go so that your lower half really takes the brunt of this, right? So allow for the heat to build, for the discomfort to be there, but there's no pain. And then just breathe and let go. Excuse me, y'all. When you're ready, slide your hands back so that you can inhale, lift your chest. Now on the exhale, roll slightly to the right so that you can bring your left leg out in front of you. But I have you switch legs. Extend your right leg long and bring the sole of your left foot towards your right inner thigh for Janushirshasana A. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, fold over your right leg. Right toes flex back towards the shin and your leg is active. You still might feel that action of your navel spinning towards your right thigh. And breathe. And inhale, just lift your gaze. Exhale, bring your shoulders over your hips. Lift your left knee and plant your left foot down on the ground. Right leg is still active. Left hand behind your left hip. Use your arm like a second spine. And inhale, float your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, twist over to the left. You could also just hug your left knee in if that feels better, but breathe. Now inhale, turn your gaze forward. Exhale, walk your hands over to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. So bring the soles of your feet together and your heels in close towards your sits bone. So starting off this round, we're going to do version A. So long spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge at your hips and come forward with your heart. Breathe. And firm up the pit of your belly to gently bring yourself back up. Allow for your knees to come together. Cross your feet perhaps at the ankles and just press your palms down and step back into downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet if you'd like. And then inhale, float your left leg high. Exhale, bend your left knee. Stack your hip, yawn everything open. And then you inhale, re-extend. Exhale, left knee to your left wrist. Slide your right leg long behind you. Same options here. You can take this traditional variation of your half pigeon. You can go down onto your back. You could also take double pigeon, stacking your right shin on top of the left in a seated fashion. Wherever it is that you want to go, you're here for a minute. So allow for yourself to get into this and to breathe and to really let go and release. Notice where you're bracing for impact, holding on to tension. Relax and soften. Now slide your hands back, press your palms down. Inhale to lift your chest. On the exhale, roll slightly over to the left and let your right leg extend out in front of you, but then switch legs. So left leg extends long and the sole of your right foot comes towards the inner thigh. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, fold over your left leg and breathe. Relax your shoulders. On the inhale, lift your gaze. And then exhale to walk yourself back up. Lift your right knee, let your right foot come down to the ground. Right hand comes behind your right hip. Use your arm like a second spine. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, twist over to the right. As you inhale, you lengthen. On the exhale, you twist a little bit deeper maybe. And then you inhale, turn your gaze forward. Exhale, drop your hands over to the left. Inhale back through center. Exhale, bring the soles of your feet together. If this feels like it's too much for the groin, for the low back, you can take your feet farther away and create a bigger diamond. This is a butterfly B, Baddha Konasana B. So think of rounding your spine and take your eyebrows towards the big toes, just moving in that direction. They don't have to touch. And breathe. And then slowly round yourself back up. And allow for the chin to come off of your chest. Roll your shoulders back. And bring your knees together nice and slow. Now you scoot forward so that your feet find the end of your mat. And then take a C curve to your spine and roll down one vertebra at a time. There we go. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Once you get there, you can rock it side to side. Give yourself a second. Then let your feet come down to the earth, hip width distance apart. Your hands down next to your hips, palms face down. Taking a traditional bridge pose, so really press your feet down and away from you. And lift your hips up and off of the mat. You can roll your arms underneath your shoulders if that feels good. You could also clasp your hands underneath your sacrum. Breathing here for 5. And then slowly release one vertebra at a time. Your low back stays down. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee. Open your arms out to a T. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, drop your knees to the left and turn your face to the right for a figure 4 twist.
Both shoulders stay heavy, rooting down to the mat. On your next inhale, draw back through center, unravel. Right foot comes down to the ground. Let your low back go neutral and flat. And then exhale, left ankle to your right knee. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Turn your face to the left. And same thing. Just breathe here. And then you're going to inhale, slowly come back through center, taking your time. Exhale, unravel. Let your low back come flat. Heel toe your feet out mats width distance apart. And then windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And then inhale, center. Exhale, knees to your chest. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, press your feet up into the sky for legs up the wall like a waterfall. And then you can be still, or you can draw figure eights on the ceiling with your feet. And come back through center, inhale here. Exhale to a happy baby, either peace fingers to your big toes or hands to the inner or outer arches of your feet. Your tail, your low back stay flat. Breathe in and out. One more inhale, just like that. And then exhale, release, hug your knees in. And then extend your legs forward, let your feet hang comfortably open. Arms down by the side, body palms face up. And find your Shavasana. Relaxing your entire body, let it unfurl. And let absolutely everything go. Breathe and rest. And if what you need is to be here a little bit longer, just tune me out and stay right where you are. Otherwise, begin to deepen your breath. And wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on the inhale, float your arms up overhead. And on the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. And then roll over to the right and eventually press into your comfortable, easy sit just right where you are. Sukhasana. Shoulders back and down, let your hands find your lap or your knees, or even seal them together at heart center in Anjali Mudra as we take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for our bodies, for what they do for us today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. So I thank you for joining me. Stepping on your mat is a necessity, not a luxury. So I appreciate you for making time for it, for making time for you, your health, your wellness, all the good stuff. Namaste.